Hey everybody, welcome to this video. This is the video for Module 40 for Business Math and Calculators. And in this module, we are dealing with amortization schedules. Amortization schedules are related to mortgages in the sense that they illustrate how a monthly payment is applied to both the principal and the interest that is accruing on a mortgage loan. So in this problem, we're going to look at some examples of how to calculate the monthly payment, how to determine how much of it goes towards interest and how much of it goes towards principal, and then look at the start of an amortization schedule based on that information. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into our problems and get going. Alrighty, so let's talk about mortgages, monthly payments, principal, interest, and amortization schedules. So here is the problem we are going to tackle. Henry purchased a home for $412,000. The fixed rate mortgage was for 30 years and the interest rate was 5.5%. What is the monthly payment? And again, we're going to focus just on principal and interest at this point. And then after the first payment, what will be the new balance? After the second payment, what will be the new balance? So we've got several questions that we need to solve here in this particular situation. So let's start with calculating the monthly payment. If you remember back in the previous video, we used a formula to help us do that. In the formula, what we do is we take the amount of the mortgage loan. So again, for this particular situation, the loan is $412,000. We divide that by 1,000, and then from the mortgage table, we pull the table factor out. I'm not going to pull the table up right here, but trust me that for this situation, based on 30 years and 5.5% interest, the table factor would be 5.68. We multiply by that value and we end up with a monthly payment of $2,340.16. All right, so that tells us how much we're going to be paying each month on this mortgage for the 30 years. With that, now we can start figuring out what's going to happen to the principal amount or the balance of the mortgage as payments are made. So let's go ahead and calculate based on the first payment what the new balance will be. First thing we need to do is basically figure out how much interest is going to accrue during the first month. And so we use the simple interest formula since we're only going to be focusing on 1 month at a time here. Our principal amount is the $412,000 that we're starting with. Multiply that by the interest rate written in decimal form, and then our time, we use 1/12 because again in the simple interest formula, time is always based on years. So 1/12 is 1 month or 1/12 of a year. Multiply those values together and we end up with a total amount of interest of $1,888.33. So what happens is when we go to make our monthly payment, okay, the $2,340.16, we have to first pay off the interest that accrues, and what's left is the amount that's applied to the principal. So in this case, by subtracting off the interest, we end up with $451.83. That is the amount that goes towards principal. All right, so we go back to our previous balance of $412,000. We subtract off the $451.83, and that gives us then this new principal balance of $411,548.17. Okay, so the balance of the principal decreased by about $450, and that's after the first payment. Now, if we want to move on to the second payment, we now move into the second month. So we basically repeat the process. The only difference is this time our principal amount is the previous balance from the previous month. So the $411,548.17. Take that times the interest rate times 1/12. Again, another month has gone by. Now we've accrued $1,886.26 in interest. So it's gone down just a little bit because our principal amount was lower. The amount of interest that we have to pay is a little bit lower. We're still making the same monthly payment. So we need to subtract off the interest from that monthly payment. And in this situation now, $453.90 is what's going to be applied to the principal. So we go to our balance of $411,548.17. We subtract off the $453.90, and our new balance is now $411,094.27. So we repeat the same process each month. It's just that the principal is lowered a little bit each month. And so that creates a different amount of interest that we accrue that has to be paid off first, and results in a different amount that is deducted from that principal balance. Now, to visualize kind of what happens with the principal and the interest, this is where the amortization schedule comes in. And all an amortization schedule is a table. And here's an example of what it might look like. Okay, down the first column, it's just showing which payment or which month we are on. The second column just shows the monthly payment, so that stays the same because we're making that same monthly payment every month. Then the next column shows how much of that monthly payment goes towards principal and how much of that goes towards interest in the fourth column, and then the balance that's remaining for the principal is shown in the last column. And what you can kind of observe here is as time goes on, because the principal balance goes down, what happens is the amount of the monthly payment that's applied to principal slowly goes up. The amount that's applied to interest slowly goes down. All right. And the end result is the principal is going down, but relatively slowly compared to the amount of the initial mortgage that was taken out. You know, $412,000 is a lot of money, and deducting $450 roughly each month is relatively slowly going to get you to a smaller and smaller principal balance as you go. But again, an amortization schedule just kind of helps sketch out how the principal and the interest relate to one another, how they are changing over time, and how they relate to the principal balance. So there you go. Alrighty, so I hope that example kind of helped illustrate a couple of ideas. Number one, reinforcing how to calculate the monthly payment for a mortgage. But then it's also illustrating how to determine the amount of interest that accrues, and then how much of that monthly payment is applied towards interest and towards principal. And then finally, being able to organize that information into an amortization schedule. So with that, if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out. I will be happy to assist you with anything that you need on this front. I hope that you have a great day. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.